طيب. We are in module 6, lesson 5, right? Right? Yeah. Module 6, lesson 5. We are on right and solve the equation P with x plus q equal r. Now we know how to solve this form, right? We distribute then solve two-step equations, right? But today we will write the equation. In the previous lessons, the equation is already given to you and you will solve it, right? But here we will write the equation, then we will solve it. Okay? Done? So how we will write the equation? We will use the keywords. The keywords, remember the keywords? Like when I say increase by means I'm adding, decrease by means subtracting, total, parenthesis, sum means add. These keywords, right? By reading the context, the text of the question very well, understand it very well, then write the equation, then solve it. And I brought for you a question about it, remember? About the aquarium when it drains water. Right. Now we have the same idea here. So we will write the equation, then we solve it. We know how to solve it. But today we will take some examples to know how we will write these or this type of equations. Okay, so we are on page 317. Page 317, and today we are in 6 December, right? I will start from the learn اللي هو page 317. See it? Read يا يوسف. يلا. All of you with your friend, please. We are on the learn page 317. Okay? We'll take this idea how to write, then we'll go to example 1. Okay? يلا روح. Wait. علي صوتك. See this parenthesis, the variable inside, right? And if you look here, P and Q and R are numbers. Check. Check. Our variable here is what? X. Stop. When we will read the question, what's X should be? The thing that the question asked me about, right? When I say, what is the number of the students? So we don't know the number of the students. So our variable will represent the number of the students. So how we'll determine or how we will choose the variable? By reading the question. What's the question wants from you? This is the variable. Got it? Continue. Yalla, we have problem here. Let's understand it together to understand how we write this idea. Go. Mr. Vargas takes his class of 24 students ice skate. أخذهم وين? How many students we have? So we know the total number of the students. We have 24 students. They are going to ice skating. Continue. حلو. في بيسموها in Arabic words مدخولية. يعني أنت عشان تدخل على هذا المكان لازم تدفع فلوس. Okay. Do we know how much money this entrance need? No. Go. Read. Hello. So the student, when he go to this rink for ice skating, when he enter the gate, he should pay money. دفع. When he enter inside, he will rent this thing which you ride on, right? I don't know what's its name. The skate. يلا. روح. هلا 24 students هم The total cost of all money, the entrance and the renting of the skates for all the students together, how much? $234. This will be after the equal. This will be what? R. يعني the total of this money, the total of the money for all the students, okay, equal اللي هو R يعني. Done. Continue. Now, focus. What's the question will ask me about? Continue. Entrance fee. They want the entrance fee. So what I will say, let X be the entrance fee, because the question wants me to find it, right? This is the missing number. I know the number of the students. I know the renting of the skate is how much? 4.75. I know the total of the money. I don't know the entrance fee, right? So what I will say here, let X be the entrance fees or fee, right? صح؟ طيب how many students we have؟ هلا for each student ركز معي الآن. Each student will pay what? Will pay two things. The entrance fee, which is what? X, and he will rent a skate. How much the renting of the skate? 4.75. So each student, ركز الآن. Each student will pay X, who the entrance fee, and which is what? Plus he will rent a skate. مش رايح يقعد هو يتفرج. وبده يروح يدفع يركب على السكيت ويروح يلفلف بالهذا. تمام؟ يلا X plus 4.75. Each student, now focus with me. Each student will do this. Will pay X. Do we know X? No, the entrance fee. And he will rent a skate. صح? Each student will do this. طب how many students we have? 24. So how many times this will be? 24 times, because each student will pay entrance and he will enter inside and he will rent a skate by 4.75, right? But I have 24 students. So what I will do, this one will repeat it how many times? So I will multiply them all by what? The number of the students, right? Do you understand it? Are you sure? Yes. The total of the money, how many students we have? I have 24 students. Each one will pay X and will pay 4.75, right? The total of the money is how much? 34. So I wrote the equation now. What's our title here? Write and what? Solve. I wrote it. Now I need to what? Let's solve it. We know the strategy of solving this, right? We distribute, we expand, then we do two-step equations. So here, 24 times X. Now, this is the first part of the solution. Done? Now, the second part, we need to what? To solve the equation, right? Now, 24 times X plus 24 multiply 4.75. What? Are you sure? 140. Like this. All equal what? Now shift and divide. So 24x equal 234 minus 114. So 24x equal what? 120. Divide on 24. Divide on 24. So x equal 5. What's x? What's X? The entrance fee. Now we know everything in the problem, right? The students will go to the rank. At the entrance fee, he will pay how much? $5. Then he will go inside, and rent a skate for how much? 4.7. Now let's check our answer. Let's what? Check our answer. Each student will pay 5 and together 9 point. صح? Again, each student will pay the entrance fee 5 صح؟ And he will rent a skate with 4.75. Together, 9.75. طب how many students we have? So we have 24 students. Each one of them will pay 9.75. Check. 24 students by 9.75. How much? 200. The total of the money. Do you understand it? Good. Now, you have here, beside this in your book, you have empty space here to write like notes. Copy this here so you understand it and make an arrow like this. Okay? يلا go. What? هذا اكتبه جنب البروبلم عندك بالفراغ بالكتاب. هاي زميلك عامل نفس الشيء هي. يلا go. ها. What? We will put x here. If we know x from the first 5, x where will be? In a place of 24. X is the missing value, is the thing that unknown, is the thing that the question asks you about, whatever where it is. Got it? يعني assume that x is outside, like for example, x with 3 plus 7 equal 10 for example. بصير؟ بصير، ايش المشكلة يعني؟ طيب 3 plus 7 how much? 10. 10x equal divide in 10 both sides. What's the problem? So whatever x here or here or here or here, you can solve it. ما في مشكلة. But the first step or the important step to know what's x or what's the value you need to use. For what? How we know for what? By reading the question very well. We know the known things and the variable will be the unknown thing. Got it? The question won't ask you about two things unknown. You understand me? The question in this case won't ask you about two things. He will ask you, or it will ask you about only which is your variable. Yes. 234 ايش 23 4 وين؟ لا 4 24 فيش 4. There is no y here. مشيها هي. I wrote. Good. Yeah, okay, but write the page of the number of the page, sorry. طيب. Done the idea. Yalla, finish copying. So we will move to the example 1. Now, the only difference between this lesson and the lesson before is what? As we write the equation, then we solve it. In the previous lesson, the equation already given for you, right? Right. Let's go to example 1 now together. And the next page, on page 318. Example 1. We are in example 1, page 318. Done writing this? Right. So we are in example 1, page 318, right? Yeah. Let's read together. Read يا محمد, علي صوتك بس. Mackenzie. حلو. بس نفهم. Mackenzie each day drive the same distance from her house to the school and from the school to her house. And 1 and 3/4 miles round trip. يعني كل يوم شو بتعمل هاي ماكنزي؟ تصحى الصبح تركب البسكليت او السياره وات، بتروح بتيجي على المدرسه وبتطلع المسا بتلف لها لفه هيك قد ايه؟ 1 and 3/4. Got it? فهمنا الايديا؟ Continue. How many days? 5 ايام بالاسبوع. Continue. بال1 week التوتال إلها قد ايه؟ 50 مايل. Sorry. يلا continue. Now we know how many days. How many days? 5 days. Each day she go to the school and back at the same distance, and she go to around the library, whatever. How many? 1 and 3/4, right? For distance. And in this 1 week, the 5 days, why 5 days? اللي هم school days, right? The total of it is how much? 50. The total we said it is after the equal, check. So here I'll determine what? The variable of me. What's the variable here? The thing that the question asked me about. What the question asked me about? The distance from to and the school. Check. So let what? D, why D? Write and solve equation, determine the total distance. Yeah, let D be the distance to and from the school, right? And from the school. Hello? In 5 days, how many days? 5 days. In 5 days, the total of the distance is how much? After the equal, check. In each day, what she go, where she go? She go and back from the school. What we call it? D. So each day she go and back from the school, and we call it what? D. So D, hi D. And she go around for the library, right? Come 1 and 3/4 plus 1 and 3/4 up. This each day, right? Each day she go and back to the school. Hi D. صح؟ هذه D. And she go around the library. How much? For how many days? So this is repeated how many times? هذا الشيء 5 times. Each day she do the same thing. So all of it multiply by 5. Got it? Now we wrote the equation. What we need to do? We'll solve it as we did always. We distribute and what? Distribute and solve it. Check. يلا let's distribute 5 by D. 5D plus 5 multiply 1 and 3/4. نعملها 5 multiply 1 and 3/4, right? يعني 5/1 multiply 4 by 1 4 plus 3 7/4 يعني 35/4 يعني 8 and 3/4, right? So here plus 8 and 3/4, all of it equal what? I distributed the 5, check. Now shift, then divide. So 5D equal 50 minus 8 and 3/4. And 3/4. 4. 5D equal 50 minus 8 and 3 over 4, 41 and 1 over 4. Okay? Now what I need to do to find D, what's the distance from her house to the school and the school to her house, okay? We divide on 5. So D will be, I will divide using my calculator. We have 41.25 divided by 5. It is 8 and 1 over 4. 8 and 1 over 4 what? What? Right. So the distance from her school and back is how much? 8 and 1 over 4. Do you understand the example? Are you sure? Do you understand the example? Are you sure? Right. Now we have check after it. Let's do it together. Let's go to the check after this example. Done? Yeah. Quickly, guys. It's already solved, by the way, but it's okay if you want to write. Done? Done. Let's go to the check after this example. We have check page 319. Part A, we will select the correct equation. And in part B, we will solve this equation. Read يا عم real. Guys, ركز عشان نفهم ها. Wait يا عم. We are on check. Check, right? Check 1, page 319. Read.
Mrs. Bayer that six requires 1 and 3 over 8 yards of blue fabric and a certain amount of red fabric.
بس شو بتعمل هاي؟ 5 costume. شو يعني costume؟ زي قميص uniform whatever. Okay. طيب. So Mrs. Byers is making 5 costumes. Each costume, each one of them requires 2 types of fabric, red and blue, right? Red and blue. طيب. The blue, how much? 103 over 8. And certain amount of red. Do we know the red? No. So we know the blue, but we don't know the red. I'm expecting at the end of the question will ask me about the amount of the red because it's unknown. Continue. In all, يعني the total yards of red and blue for how many costumes? For 5 costumes. She will use 8 and 3 over 4 yards. Get it? Continue.
Write and search an equation to determine the number of yards of red fabric or he will need for each.
So the question asked me about the red fabric. How many yards of the red fabric she needs to use for how many costumes? For 5 costumes. So let R, why R? The question wants me to use R, right? They said red fabric R, right? So let R be the number of red fabric. مش هيك؟ طيب how many costumes we have? 5. Each costumes needs blue and red. I know the blue. How much is the blue? طب and the red, do we know the red? No, I know R. So R plus R mean red. Plus mean the blue. I know the blue. How much the blue? 1 and 3 over 8. طب how many costumes? 5. Each one of them needs this expression, right? So all of them by 5 equal the total of the fabric, whatever it is, red and blue. 8 and what? 3 over 4. This is the equation. هذا part A. The answer you should select what? A. Now I want from you, I will give you 2 or 3 minutes in part B to do what? In part B, solve the equation. Yeah. Go. So this is the equation. In part B, you need to solve the equation to know the value or the amount of the red fabric R. Go. 5 multiply R and 5 multiply 1 and 3 over 8. Check. 5 by R. 5R. Check. 5 multiply 1 and 3 over 8. Do it by side. Hey, 5 multiply 1 and 3 over 8. Check. 8 by 1, 8. Plus 3, 11 over. Hey, 5 multiply 11 over. يعني 55. هذه over 1. 55 over what? 8. Make simplest form. 6 and 7 over 8. صح. Plus 6 and 7 over 8. All equal 8 and 3 over 4. Check. Now the next step is to solve two-step equation. We shift and subtract 5R equal 8 and 3 over 4 minus 6 and 7 over what? 8. Turn it to fractions by side. Subtract. The answer will be هذه ال 55 over 8. هذه 4 by 8 32 plus 3 35 over 4 minus 55 over 8. Check. By 2 by 2. This will be 70. 70 minus 55. 15. صح? 15 over what? 8. You can turn it to mixed number. It will be 1 and 7 over 8. So here the answer of 5R is 1 and 7 over 8. Now I want R, so I will divide both sides by 5. So R will be next division. 1 and 7 over 8, it is 15 over 8. Check. 15 over 8, all over mean 5. ال 5 هذه over ايش؟ Up divided by down. Up the same. The division multiply and down we flip. Check. It will be 1 over 5. You can cross the 5 and the 15. This will be 1. This will be 3 multiply 1, 3 over 8. So here R is 3 over 8. Now let's understand the question again after we solve it. I don't need all of these calculations, right? Now, let's understand the question again. 5 costumes, صح? Each costume of them needs red fabric and blue fabric. The blue is given, the red is not given, but we found it. How much? 3 over 8. So 3 over 8 for the red, 1 and 3 over 8 for the blue. Together, for the 5 costumes, the total of the fabric should be what? 8 and 3 over 4. Do you understand the question? I'm not talking about the steps. I'm talking about the general idea of the question. Do you understand it? Distribute 5 by r, 5r, then 5 multiply 1 and 3 over 8. This answer. We simplify it here. You know how to multiply mixed numbers and number with them. Then shift till b minus. Then simplify here. Then divide both sides by the coefficient as we did in one-step equations. Done? That's okay. I don't care about the units here. Done? طيب. Copy it, please. Now I will select for you some questions from the homework to do it. So open to, in the online students, be with me please. 1, بسرعة. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, page 323. These questions similar for the ideas we did in the example and the check. Okay, so if you forget, try to watch this video again, try to understand the question as we did. Now tomorrow we'll take second idea in this lesson, but with small difference, which is in place of a plus here we will do what? Minus. That's all. In 1, 2, 3 and 4, all of them similar of this. It has plus. Okay. Yeah. لا مش شغلك كان. يا جماعة ايش عمل فيها انا؟ Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. Guys in that line, do your homework. Thank you.